In the previous video that we had, we used the Pythagorean theorem to determine the vector's magnitude. Now, in this video, we will be using trigonometry to determine a vector's direction. Okay? Remember, a vector cannot be called vector if it has only magnitude. A vector must have magnitude and also direction. Now, just a review of your trigonometry. If this is our right triangle, this is our A, which is adjacent. When we say adjacent, katabi. Okay, when we say adjacent, katabi. Side A or letter A is the side adjacent to angle theta. This is the angle theta, and side A is the adjacent or katabi. And side B is the side opposite. Opposite siya ni angle theta. And C is the hypotenuse of the triangle. When we say hypotenuse, this is the longest side of the right triangle or the triangle. Now, how are we going to use this to determine our vector's direction? Now, if you can still remember, or this is just a review, we have this what we call mnemonic that helps one remember the meaning of the three common trigonometric functions. We have sine, cosine, and tangent. We have this what we call toa to remember the meaning of these three common trigonometric functions. First, we have the What does mean? Means sine is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. That is what it means. Or the opposite side is letter B and the hypotenuse is C. Ka means cosine is equals to adjacent or adjacent over hypotenuse. Or we can name it A over C. And lastly, we have the TOA. TOA means tangent is equals to opposite over adjacent, or B over A. Again, to review, means sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, or sine theta is equals to A over C. Cosine or Ka means cosine theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse equals A over C. And lastly, we have the TOA, which means tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent equals B over or equals to B over A. Okay, shall we try to use this one? Now, these three trigonometric functions can be applied to the hiker problem in order to determine the direction of the hiker's overall displacement. Now, the process begins by the selection of one of the two angles other than the right angle. So we have two angles here, this one and this one. This is the right triangle. Right angle. These are the two other angles other than the right angle. So you have to choose either one of those angles. Pwede kang pumili either of this or this. Basta hindi lang ang right angle. Once the angle is selected, any of the three functions can be used to find the measure of the angle. Yung katawa natin, you can choose either of those three. Write the function and proceed with the proper algebraic steps to solve for the measure of the angle. Now, we have here, we are going to use the given that we used in the previous video that we had. Okay, we have 11 kilometers going north and another 11 kilometers going east. And in our previous video, we have already determined the magnitude of the resultant, which is 15.6 kilometers. Now, we just have to find the direction. Now, if you are going to choose this angle, okay, we are going to choose this angle to determine the direction of the magnitude or the resultant. So if this is your angle, this is your side adjacent, and this is your side opposite. So look at our looking at our diagram. R is our hypotenuse or side hypotenuse. So we can choose either of the three functions that we have. Okay? Pwede tayong pumili either of these three. Okay? So, if you wanted to use sine, we can use sine. So, ang sine natin, sine theta is equals to B over C. Okay, so if we use sine theta to find the direction or the degree of our resultant, sine theta is equals to B over C. What is our B? That is 11 kilometers. And our C is what? 15.6 kilometers. Okay, let's try to solve for the value of the theta or the value of the angle. Okay, sine theta is equals to 11 kilometers over 15.6 kilometers is equals to, okay, you compute it, 11 divide 15.6 is equals to 0.7051. Okay, next is you are going to determine the value of the theta. To get the value of the theta, you have to get the inverse of sine. So theta is equals to sine inverse or inverse of sine. That is sine to the power of -1 times this result, 0.7051. Okay, to use your calculators, scientific calculators, this is how you're going to do it. If you can see here, ayan, di ba meron tayong sine, cosine, and tangent for these three trigonometric functions. Now, you can see at the top of that is sine to the -1. That is the inverse of sine. Okay? Cosine to the power of -1, that is the inverse of cosine. Tangent to the power of -1, that is the inverse of tangent. So we are going to find the sine inverse of 0.7051. So you're going to press shift and then press sine again. Unahin mo pag-click si shift, then sine. Then you type 0.7051, close parenthesis. Your result is 44.837623460439. You round it off to its ones. That becomes 45. Therefore, your theta is equals to 45 degrees. Therefore, your resultant must be 15.6 kilometers and the direction is 45 degrees. Okay? That's it. Please do not miss to watch the next video for the further explanations about The calculated angle, that is not always the direction. There are times that this calculated angle may not be the direction. So for the next video, we will discuss that subject matter. Okay, see you.